Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to a new day, new Juma, and blessed day for all of us, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, that we are here and we are here to remind each other and to learn from each other on this platform of Lita'arafu. And we come here to learn from each other, to help each other grow closer to Allah by reflecting on His ayat and coming here together to learn and to reflect together. And it's a joint effort, inshallah. So we go back to our ayah in the Quran. In This is from Surah Hujurat, and Allah says, "Ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa unsa وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا." So he's referring to the mankind, not to Muslims, not to believers or disbelievers, to each and everyone who Allah has created with His own hand. Ya ayyuhan nas inna khalaqnakum. I have created you all from male and female, and I have made you purposely into different tribes and nations, so that you learn from each other. لِتَعَارَفُوا. What do we learn from each other? From different cultures, different tribes. They are not here. These cultures, we don't learn, oh, this culture is better or this is. We don't compare that. But Allah is saying, what do you learn from each other? And how do I judge you is inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The one in my eyes who is more honored is the one who lives mindfully. So if you can uh, see me here and now in your life, that's the purpose of our life, like living in His presence. In Allah Alimun Khabir, and He knows the situations we are in and where He placed us on this earth for a reason. And this is a practice of seeing and encouraging each other how to live mindfully and see this seen world and go to the source, and that's the unseen source. It is a seen source, but apparently it looks like unseen. So that's our way of connecting to the unseen by reading, continuously reading the ayat in the creation and within us and outside us, and then transitioning from seen creation to the source, the unseen creator. So inshallah, that's our striving to read. And that's the first decree that was revealed to our Prophet, who was our first teacher. And um, then we have multiple teachers, alhamdulillah, in our lives who are there, who help us read these signs. So Allah says in Quran, "Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq," that read the signs I have given you. And then he didn't just place the signs and didn't give us tools. He gave us tools, like all our senses. They are the tools for us to connect and how to read. So these senses are our senses, like five senses, which we see very clearly with, which we can hear, which we can taste, and then to the ayat. But these are all tools that are given for us to connect in this dunya, but they are meant to take us to the source. If we connect to these with these tools and stay and focused on the ayat, but if the ayat doesn't point us to the source, then the purpose of, like, just tasting an apple, if that apple tasting, the sense which we feel, the sweetness, the smell, the colors, if we stay with the apple, then that apple becomes our ilah, and we are praising that apple, and we are just but if it that apple is not pointing to the source, and if we cannot translate that experience to the to connecting with our Rab, then I think we lose the opportunity to read that. We lost the opportunity to connect to Him by reading that sign. We still connected, but we connected to the tool, through the tool to the object, not to the source. So, and these ayat can be, they are our feelings, like when we feel something uneasy, something that gets us on fire, then that's again a sign of Allah. Like, okay, you need to stay with that and focus and come back to me. Let it bring you back to me. If it is not taking us back to Allah, then it means we need more work and more guidance. So we ask Allah to guide us, and to these tools, they are given for us so that they complete the cycle of ubudiyah. To they take us from ubudiyah to rububiyah. So by using those tools of senses, we know that we are needy, and those needs were given to us so that we could taste and enjoy the rububiyah of our Rabb. And this relationship of knowing that we are totally dependent and he's the one who is the provider, he's the one who's taking care of us, that's the basis of our purpose in this life. Just to know where we are coming from, who we are, and to connect to our source, who is our provider. In each and every situation, if we can go back to this, then I think that is the mystery, and that solves the mystery basically. And that's the key of connecting each and every moment to our so take a pause and go back. The breathing is the fastest, I think, tool that Allah has given us, a gift that we can go back to, that how needy we are each and every moment. The breath that is given, it's given with the promise that there is purpose for us in this life, and it's the provider is giving it to us, and we are in his safety and his care. And that's how Allah defines the awliya, or his friends. His friends are the one who find safety in him and who are always present with him. They are not living in future or in the past. They are living in the present, and they ask the right questions when they are when they see the ayah, and then those ayahs are used as a key to connect to him and to be in his presence. So this is our, inshallah, journey and our striving to know and to become the friend of Allah, awliya Allah, that who Allah defines in the Quran so many times, that inna awliya Allah, la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. That those are the people who live in the present. They have no fear of future, and they have no grief of the past. So inshallah, we ask our dearest Maryam, Allah give her shifa and health. Yeah, yesterday night she was not feeling well, but alhamdulillah, Allah gave her through his mercy, she's able to come and join with us and take us, inshallah, blessed moments of presence. Mariam, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I was just clicking on the welcome everyone, and have a blessed Friday. And thank you for choosing the time to join us today. And Bismillah, let's all find a comfortable place wherever we are sitting. You can put your feet on the ground. You can place your hands on your laps. And let's move our shoulders and our neck from right to left and around, left to right. And whenever you're ready, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And Bismillah. Let's continue taking a breath and enjoy it. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. let the oxygen fill your lungs smoothly. Feel how air moves in through your nose and goes to your body with your blood. It moves to every cell in your body. It brings life. It is in abundance. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to control your breathing. It is just happening. Simply. Just enjoy the breath. Enjoy this gift. Enjoy the gift of life coming with each breath. And remember breathing. Breathe as much as you can. And be an observer. How easily breathing is done upon you. Who is sending the breath? And who gives you the safety and the calmness and the security and the trust with each breath? It is a promise. And He is the one who provides it in abundance, constantly, without us worrying about the next breath. This tells me you're near. You hear, you see, and you're always here with me. Through your breath, I'm inviting you to visualize yourself being loved. With each breath, safety is given. With each breath, you're being loved. And say, yes, I choose to be with the compassionate, with the provider, with the one who is trustworthy. And keep breathing. Enjoy the feeling of abundance and a light surrounding you. I can hear the provider is saying, the only reason I have created your breathing is you. The only reason I created this breathing enjoyable is you. You are the one who is trying to make me know how much you love me. To show me your perfection as the perfect caregiver, guardian who loves you and me. And I take you as the one who loves me unconditionally. The one who creates everything here and now just for me. The sound that I hear is created just for me. The breathing I'm breathing is created here and now just for me. This chair I'm sitting on, which is carrying me, is created here and now just for me, which is holding me tightly. This body, which carries me, is created here and now just for me as a vehicle to know you, to get closer to you. Now I can say, I witness you are the one who gives life. And that is the one I'm returning to. You are the one who keeps me and my loved ones safe. And that is the one I'm returning to. You are the one who takes care of all our needs. And that's the one I'm returning to. You are the one who creates in abundance. And that's the one I'm returning to. You are the one who makes my breathing easy. That is the one I'm returning to. And you're the one who loves unconditionally. That is the one I'm returning to. I am with my Creator, here and now and always. He is the one present with me. I am so happy I'm returning to Him. So proud I belong to Him. Alhamdulillah. Stay with this feeling, enjoy the feeling, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You're welcome.
Your last sentence resonated with me.
You want to talk about it?
Want to read it?
To be proud, I belong to Him.
It's a very nice feeling to feel, you know, to feel very special. And that's why people, like, when they're in a big group, they say, who graduated from UVA? All the UVA graduates, like, who's from Turkey? Who's from Egypt? And everyone is so proud, like, as they, like, raise their hand. And because this is the middle of the month, so moon days, the Prophet ﷺ, when he looks at the moon, he is so proud that he belongs to the same Rabb of the moon. And he says to the moon, Rabbi wa Rabbuka Allah. My Rabb and your Rabb is Allah. It's like, yes, we belong to the same, we graduated the same university, we have the same Rabb. Like the Prophet is speaking to the moon and say, yes, me too. I'm just like you. We too have the same Rabb with so much love and pride. So
It's as if we're in the same team.
yeah, we're on the same team, me and the moon. Like he's speaking to the moon and saying, Rabbi wa Rabbuk Allah, like we're on the same team. We have the same creator, the same signature. Look at me. Like I'm as beautiful as you. We're both beautiful. We're both cared for. We belong to the same team, the same Rabb. So pride, like it's a new concept that you introduced today. Like safety is one, trust is one, but pride is a new one that you introduced today. This pride, I'm proud that I found you. You got many comments, Mariam. Go for it.
Ziba is here. She feels
You
grounded
can
and
share your
safe.
screen, Sally.
Who's it?
You can share your screen.
Screen the screen. Okay, I'll do that. I need you to.
And Salwa said, feeling grateful, loved, and sorrowful for living in Ghafla. Oh, don't be. Let's just use it as a means to run to your creator. It's an opportunity, right?
Even in Hindi, there is a saying, "Jab jago tabhi savera," means whenever you wake up, then it's a morning. So
Whenever you wake up.
whenever you wake up, that's the morning.
Oh, I love that.
Ah, like waking up from the Ghafla is the morning. Yeah.
That's one we need to have a slide for, Ziba. Whenever you wake up, that's the morning. Can you write it also in Hindi for us?
All right.
That is the morning. I'm writing it. MashaAllah. Do you want to read the comments, Mariam?
Salwa said, yes, that's beautiful. Hajar is here. She feels nourished.
That's Tamomi.
Tomomi is that.
Hajar Tamomi.
Oh, really? So this is her new name, Hajar Tamomi, or I haven't seen.
That's her Islamic.
Okay. Hitam wrapped in security blanket of Allah's love. Alhamdulillah. These are all the commands for now.
So, Alhamdulillah, that Allah gives us this time to come together so that we can connect that way, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, that we are connecting these weeks with the name of Allah AlMu'min, the one to be trusted, the one who grants security. And one of the things that we realize is that this name is one of the very, very basic names that we all need, subhanAllah. So these names come to us on the journey of, am I doing the right one? Is this the right one?
Yeah, it's the right one.
Yeah, just. Okay. We have many ones that I was one.
This is just the transition from.
Yeah, okay. So the reason that we're here is to actually fulfill our true purpose in life, which can only be achieved by pausing, like Mariam has helped us. Because in the pause, we will realize our need. And then Allah teaches us who to call on with that need. So Allah reminds us throughout the Quran that to Him alone belongs all the beautiful names, all the perfect attributes. So when we have a need, we need to pause, listen to it, understand it, and then call on him with that need. So Allah, out of his generosity, he gives us the names, the attributes, what he can do for us. Like, I can keep you safe. I can beautify you. I am the one who loves you non-conditionally. So that when we have those needs, we know him with it, with these names of perfection, we call upon him with them. So in that journey, it's a lifelong journey where we are learning the truth about who we are as Abd and who he is as a Rabb. And that's our basic relationship. The basic relationship where we understand how needy, totally dependent we are, and to see for our own selves, experience for our own selves who is creating here and now, to fulfill each and every one of those needs. That relationship goes from a basic relationship as we understand it into a deeper relationship where trust is being built, where love and worship comes in and becomes stable. So the more we know our Rabb, it's not just that he's the life giver, the breath giver, just like Maryam reminds us every time. But then we would realize that the way he gives the breath, the way he gives the life, the way he creates everything, like Maryam reminded us, especially for us, is to show that he is the giver of love and friendship, that he sees us all the time, hears us all the time, knows our needs, gives us everything in a way that we can enjoy, the way that we were created to enjoy, so that we know that he is the one who's behind this need. He's the one who unconditionally, always, totally loves us. And as that witnessing keeps going, that relationship stops being a transient relation that ends with finishing the meal, or that ends with finishing the time that you spend with someone you love. That whatever you taste, once you realize it's not just from that transient source, that it transient cause, it comes from an endless source, then that relationship takes a totally different form. And what you taste here and now, you realize it is a flow, that it's coming from ghaib, and that flow is returning back to there. So as Maryam was reminding us today, that just to know that this is the same one you're returning to, the one who loves, the one who protects, the one who gives, that becomes a source of safety and comfort. So what we come here to do every Friday is to focus on this relationship and to help grow this relationship through knowing who our Rabb is and who we are as Abd. So the way to do that is to look into the names, and this, is our 5th week working with the name AlMu'min, because the more we know him as the one who gives safety, the one we can trust, the more we trust, the more we'll be going to him, and inevitably love him, adore him in worship, until we're at a space where we're with him here and now, as a reminder to we'll always be with him, we're always returning to him. So we have chosen few ayahs to share this week that remind us of this role, this state that when we are in, what is the fruit of it? So Allah reminds us, Ya ayyatuha an-nafs al-mutma'inna, O the tranquil soul, when our soul is in that tranquil state. Irji'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiyya. When you're in that tranquil state, a state of receiving, a state of total ubudiyya, which is letting go that you're the one doing it, accepting pride with pride, like Mariam was saying, accepting with pride and dignity that you are totally taken care of, your soul becomes tranquil. And in that state, you are in a state of returning to the presence of your Rabb. So to return to your Rabb is not, you don't have to die to return to your Rabb. No, we are always either away from our Rabb or returning back to his presence. So going back to this slide, this being with my Rabb is returning state, is that state. Like, you know, here I don't know him, but the more I know him, I'm returning back to be with him. I'm trying to trust him. The more I'm trusting him, the more I'm back to be with him. So with that, God reminds us in that state, when we are in a tranquil state of ubudiyyah, of receiving, we will be returning to our Rabb. That's a state of returning to our Rabb. And in that state, we'll be well pleased with whatever is going on, and we'll be pleasing to him as well. Whether it's pain that's coming to us that we're trying to deal with, confusion, overwhelming. Once we're in that state, in a tranquil state where we realize we're taken care of, I have a Rabb that's taking care of me, then the way I'm going to deal with this, the pause and listening to the feelings that I'm having, are going to take me back to him. So I'll be returning to him. And the more I'm in that pause, the more, even if it's pain that I'm pausing with, that I'm totally allowing it to come over me, I will find at the end of that pause that I am content with knowing that he is my Rabb in this situation. And if I am content, then that is an indication that he is content with me. And in that state, I have entered in that team. Mariam was saying, we're on the same team. Then I've entered to be one member of that team of Abed, the team of people who love him in worship. And in that state, I'm in his paradise because I'm with him. So this ayah that we always read as if it's only there when we die and go back, and only for the righteous people who die and go back to the Rabb in that state, now we realize with the name of Mu'min that this state we can achieve whenever we are returning back to our Rabb, here and now, returning to his presence. And how do you know that? You know it in your heart. Today, for example, my heart, my body was all on fire. I felt like, we'll come to that discussion, but I felt totally on fire. And I was speaking to Ziba, and she was trying to bring me back to a state of tranquility, that this is sent to you so that you learn something. It's not sent as a reason for you to be on fire. It's sent for you to a reason to look into something that has been wounding you and you've been covering it, and it's time to deal with it. So once you deal with it, that, and without, like, you know, just understanding it, just, I need to sit down with that feeling and let it wash over me until I come to that tranquil state. Even when I'm talking now, I still feel the fire in my body and my heart. Only when tears will flow and I would really connect with what is happening inside me would I come to that tranquil state, that I'm Abd who has a Rabb, and that sitting with my tears is me listening to those emotions that are sent to me to do something about them, and to listen to the emotions that are here to make me return back to my Rabb. And when I'm there, I will find myself well pleased, because whatever causes that has caused that, I would realize that I belong to the team that has a Rabb, that knows they have a Rabb. I'll be well pleased there. And if I'm well pleased, then he's pleased with me. And in that state, I'm one of that team, one of the team of all the creation that knows that it has Abd, that it is Abd and it has a Rabb, and loves this Rabb in worship. And in that state, instead of it being fire, it will be Ya nar kuni bardan wa salaman, just like Ibrahim's fire was turned into peace and tranquility. That is the promise of AlMu'min, the one who gives safety. The two other ayahs that we chose today was لإلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. Most of us use this one in prayer. But let's look into it. It's saying that Allah speaking to us, not just the people of Quraysh, to us who take everything for granted. We are accustomed to our safety, to our security. We're accustomed to the earth has to be flat, the sky has to be above us. I can breathe easily. You're accustomed to all of that. This accustoming is happening through the journey of the winter and the journey of the summer. And the journey of the winter is usually a metaphor for hardship times. And the journey of the summer is usually a metaphor for times of ease. So in hardships and ease, I'm so used to this state of peace, the state of tranquility that God promises me. And Allah says, now look into that and make that your reason to come back to your Rabb in worship. He is the owner of this space, this house that you live in, this universe that you live in. And he's been giving you always this peace. He's always been feeding you out of hunger, always sustaining you, always giving you peace out of fear. But you never saw this as a way to connect to your Rabb. You just took it for granted. You did not look back and see that you sitting here, me sitting here, my body in this way, my breath happening, where I'm sitting, the earth being stable, the sky being above me, is all my Rabb showing me here and now that he is sustaining me for whatever I need, whether it's food, whether it's other things that I need to be sustained with, friendship, love, security, and most important thing, وَأَمَنْهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ, and that he is the one that is making me able to sit with you, not always worried about what is happening around me. Is the earth gonna do, like, I'm sitting comfortably with you. And this that I'm doing and I'm receiving from him, I receive with ghafla, I receive as a habit. And God is saying, no, stop that habit of receiving it as a habit and look at it as me, your Rabb, giving it to you, the totally needy abd. I could not hold the earth stable. I could not hold the sky up, and yet I'm receiving it as a way to emphasize that he is always taking care of me. And the third ayah we shows is the one I will finish with, because that's the practical one that Sarah always brings up to us. And this is, how do we use this relationship with Allah, the one who's trustworthy, fulfills his promises and gives us peace, gives us safety. How do we use this relationship and this experience in dealing with our own daily challenges? So this ayah comes beautifully, always comes to Sarah, and she always uses it. Rabbana, our Rabb. Innana sami'na munadiyan yunadi lil iman. Indeed, we have heard a caller calling us to trusting and safety. And what was the call? An aminu bi rabbikum. Find safety in your Rabb. فآمنا. So we answered the call to come to this safety. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا. Our Rabb, so forgive us our shortcomings, in forgetting that you are always here with us and for us. وكفر عنا سيئاتنا, and remove from us our misdeeds of living in ghafla. وتوفنا مع الأبرار, and return us to you, to your presence, return us to your presence with those who are righteous. So how does this ayah, how is it? It's like a formula. The formula is, for me today, when I woke up, I had someone calling me 3 times, 6 o'clock from overseas. And it was after Fajr, no, 6. When is Fajr, Ziba? Anyway, it was after Fajr. I prayed Fajr and went to sleep. And I was like just getting like to sleep, and I knew I'll wake up and I needed to prepare before today's session. So, I just every time it would ring, I would silence, and it's 6 a.m. and it's from overseas. And I said, when I wake up, I will do that. Then my bedroom door gets open, and the family member saying, this person is calling you from Egypt with that person on the phone. Take the phone, answer it right now. And I'm deep, like, sort of like in a mid space. And I'm saying, I'm sleeping now. I will answer the phone when I wake up. And that family person is becoming angry with the other person on the phone and saying, just take the phone and answer it right now. And I was like, is this real? My head is like, is this real? Is this a dream? What is going on? Obviously, it's not an emergency, because if it's an emergency, it wouldn't be someone that I don't really know from overseas. And it wouldn't be in this way. So then I just said, I will answer. Just tell them, because they're on the phone listening right now, tell them that I would answer them as soon as I wake up. I'm just gonna get another half an hour of sleep and I would answer when I wake up. But after they left the room, my whole body was on fire. I obviously woke up, had to take a shower to cool down, didn't cool down, and then had to leave the house. And then I called the person to understand what was the emergency. And here is the emergency. The emergency is that person wanted to do Black Friday shopping in the United States. So she has booked a ticket from Egypt to New York and had a booking in a hotel in New York, but that booking didn't go through. And now she wanted to know if she comes to our house, in Virginia, is there shopping around, and would she need to use the metro? And if it's not, can I arrange for her to go to Washington, because there'll be like metros? That was the emergency. That made me more on fire. But she was with me on the phone. Then I spent all of the morning, instead of preparing for this session, all of the morning with her on the phone, looking at, like, she's coming to New York, but now she doesn't want to stay in New York. What airplanes, is there a train from New York to DC? Is there like, a bus? Which one is cheaper? We spent the whole time there. And then it was like, I don't know, 20 minutes to 10. And I said, now I have, excuse me, I have a Zoom meeting, so I excuse myself. And Ziba was calling me, and I was like, all of my body was on fire. Because I went out of my house and I thought this would be like a short emergency thing and I will work on what I wanted to do. And it turned out to be what it was. So now let me take this feeling inside me and say, this feeling, that this fire in me is Rabbana, from my Rabb, and is سمعنا مناديا ينادي الإيمان. This feeling, this fire in me is the call to come back to the safe, because I felt today that I had no boundaries, totally unsafe in my own bedroom. Like, and when I knew the cause, it became even worse. Like, that I cannot even get what I needed of sleep. And for someone who wants to come for Black Friday shopping, and my family member who I love so dearly made this into like a huge thing, was calling other families in Egypt saying how ungrateful I am, like all of this. So like shaming, blaming. And it's like, I haven't done my homework. So I'm just starting the homework with you. I need to sit down and make this come over me totally. Why is it putting me on fire? And what is my need out of all of this? Because if I sit with this and let these emotions go through me, what I'm going to do with you is what I do all the time, is just analyze. But the homework is to sit with those emotions and let them go through me, because these emotions are calling me back to safety. Because besides that, now, when this happens again, I'd be more sensitive. Fire will come up quicker. Like the fire is coming up quicker and quicker. The more the family member does this to me, the more fire will come up, because now I'm like, there's one negative experience, there'll be another one. And yes, I have the right to be angry, but why? Like, what is the need under that anger? So the need, I need that safety, I need that space of mind. And the call, this anger saying, you are called to find that safety, so that you are not always like, bedroom door is open, people are slanging things across you. Because it seems that I've done that to myself. I've allowed people to do that to me all through my life. I didn't have borders. I opened myself up thinking that's part of being generous, but now I'm suffering from it. God is teaching me, though, that's not generosity. You need to have borders. You need to protect yourself just like you protect your loved ones. Just like you spend all of these hours taking care of someone who's coming for Black Friday shopping from Egypt. You need to take care of Alia, who needs space and needs to sleep in her bed quietly, knowing that no one will barge into her bedroom to make her answer the phone. I feel very sad for this Ali. I really feel for her. I feel like she's not seen, she's not heard. She is taken for granted. Her whole value is to, I mean, whatever. I need to sit with that, because when I sit with that, I will answer. No, the call is come to your Rabb for safety. And the call is an aminu bi rabbikum. Like, find safety with your Rabb. Don't find safety in that bedroom. Don't find it with a family member. Don't find it in all those causes. Find it with your Rabb. I thought my bedroom, locking the door, is my safety. Me doing what other people need is my safety. Me trying to protect myself is safety. But my safety, Allah saying, aminu bi rabbikum, find your safety with me. What I need to do is to sit with this feeling until I come with the answer, فَآمَنَّا. Yes, now I feel safe with you. Yes. I'm coming to the safety with you. And when I'm there, then I realize the thing that put me on fire is my shortcoming in realizing that it is my Rabb that has always been seeing me, that my words comes from him, even if, and that I need to put boundaries because I have an amana, which is me, that I need to protect. And if no one else sees it as an amana, I have to see it as a trust and amana that I need to protect. And in that state, I realize how I was always in a state of total unawareness of this. So then I will be asking for forgiveness of my shortcomings, forgetting that he is my source of safety, not anything else. And in that state, I will find myself asking that he would remove all of these misdeeds of ghafla, this fire that comes into me, that makes me angry even at my Rabb, like angry. Why are you allowing this to happen to me? Like, why is this happening to me? Like, why is she doing this? Why are they doing that? Like, you, so, and that is not that relation of the one who's loving me and giving me my breath out of love and making the earth stable and give me a beautiful place to be in. And I, in order to do this, I had to do it out of my home. So I'm here outside of my home, but he gave me a place outside of my home where I can meet with you, a place where I can feel safe outside of my home. And in that place, if I'm more and more there, then I will find that I have returned to him. And in that space, I will feel comfortable that I've returned and I became one of everyone who's in that state. So this was me applying the name of AlMu'min in my session. I haven't done the homework, but I have just went through the analysis with you as I usually do. And now it's everyone's opportunity to share. Bismillah.
Hey, Mike, this is Sally. I just want to say thank you for sharing this personal account of how you know, your morning went and the challenges of being, you know, a safe space for other people. I guess it's not easy, and the you know, the regular kind of negotiating between our own needs and our own boundaries, and you know, still being of service to others. I know that's a tough balance. I guess it takes a lifetime to figure it out. So I just want to say thank you for sharing that.
So how does it apply to you? Have you ever found yourself there?
I think as far as like finding safety with within my relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah, I think that's something I've experienced in my life for sure. And being aware of what my amana is. I really liked how you said that, like, you're part of your amana. And I think that's definitely something I resonate with, right? My safety and my peace and my children's safety and their peace are for me to kind of look after and protect. And so, it's always, there's definitely a push and pull around all these different priorities. But I think as long as we just continue to have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our heart, remembering that He's ultimately the one providing for everybody, I think that definitely give us some solace and some support.
It's interesting that in airplanes, they always tell us to put the mask on you first before you put it on your child,
Right.
even if it's an infant. And in application, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that each of us is responsible for that nafs inside them as their priority. But as we grow up with the culture and we grow up away from protecting that amana as something special, that, like Maryam was reminding us today, that the earth has been created for it to thrive. The consciousness that we're given has been created for it to come, to understand. The tools that Ziba spoke about in the morning were given to. As we don't prioritize that amana, then our way of knowing a Rabb is defective. Then even the way that we protect our loved ones is defective, because we make them into Rabb. I make everyone else into Rabb, the people that I need to please. And what angers me, that I realize, is that I'm doing my best to please them and they're not pleased. Like, I've been always like jumping out of my bed, answering those like middle of the night phone calls. And now the day, because yesterday I was tired, I need my sleep, I couldn't answer it. You do this, like, so. But if I always took care of the amana as an amana, and then I realize I'm abd, everyone else is abd, and being kind to everyone else does not mean to ignore the amana, because the amana inside you, no one else can care for except you. No one.
If this fire was not there, if Allah, the merciful Rabb, had not put you on fire, and he has put you through so many situations where you must have felt this fire. So that's a mercy from Him, that He makes us feel it, that no, you are putting your values in place where you should not. You're putting your trust in places. That's why this fire is there. So Allah gives us so many moments of and opportunities and lits that fire in us, because that's His Rahmah, that's you can feel. Otherwise, everyone will be running over you and we won't even feel the fire. So that fire is a blessing, that it's here, right here, and it's your Rabb calling you, Samena, Munadi, and Yunadi. So that's the nida that's sent from Him, the most merciful Rabb, that, come to me, Rabb, innana samena. If you listen to that fire was sent. Who is the sender? He's the most merciful Rabb who's sending it. So that you know your amana that He has entrusted you. He doesn't like you to be overrun by anyone. So He's saying, this precious soul that I gifted you as an amana, I want you to take care of it. I want you to listen and be with that precious soul and take care of. So that fire is, alhamdulillah, that's a gift again. And our job is now to listen and pause and then work on, and then not let that fire come back again if we have done the work of setting our boundaries, of seeking, having that relationship through Him, not horizontal relationships. That's an amana that I think we all have. And we all feel the fire, and that's a blessing. Like, I feel fire when I'm not getting what I expect from my kids, because I am putting my trust in them and working for them rather than working as a employer from my Rabb, being employed and expecting only from Him, not from the horizontal relationships. And then setting my boundaries. I don't have to do things out of my, if what's needed, I do it with dignity. This is an amana from my Rabb, so I'm doing it. So then I think the fire litting is a gift, and then that work is, then it will be a witnessing that no, I am not in control, my Rabb is in control. I have this gift of my soul and I have to take care of it and replenish it, as you are saying, put your mask on, first. So replenish yourself before you can serve anyone else. And that serving will come with ease and with dignity once you have given the true right of your soul yourself. So inshallah, we have a lot of work to do for all of us, inshallah, and learn during this process how to respond to the call, al-nida, and then find our safety with our Rabb, and then confirm, fa'amanna. And then for all the past moments, Rabbana faghfir lana, those all moments, zunub is the word when zamb is the backside of when we were turned away from our Rabb. So those moments of ghafla when we were not connected to him. So we ask then those moments which were past, we ask forgiveness for that, so that those moments don't return back once we have learned the call, why it was given to us. وَكَفِّرْ عَنَّا سَيِّئَاتِنَا وَتَوَفَّنَا مَعَ الْأَبْرَارِ. And then we'll be in that company of the people Allah says they are abrar. They are the one who are close to Allah. So may Allah make us of them.
Go ahead, Mariam.
So the word that sticks with me with your story is vulnerability. So I guess, did you feel vulnerable?
I felt there's like, even my bed, my bedroom, my covers,
There is nothing you can do. You're so vulnerable. You're, yeah.
totally exposed, like, and on the phone with the other person, and
Yeah.
getting the bed covers out of my head with the phone.
Yeah. So you felt very, very, very vulnerable. I think the feeling of that vulnerability, we don't like it, but for a reason. When we are in ghafla mode, we think we are vulnerable in the eyes of those people. Like parallel relationship, as Ziba mentioned. But if we take vulnerability, if we are in mindful mode, vulnerability is our fortune. It's the big gift, because it means that, as much as you're vulnerable, you have more needs, then you can, what's the right wording for that? Like a baby is so vulnerable, but baby is taken care of so well. But when he becomes, like, my son is 17 years old now, he can feed himself, he can wash himself. So, the more vulnerable you are, it means that you're going to be taken care of in a better way.
Yeah, like the baby who drinks less milk gets less milk from the mother, and the baby who is very hungry and needs more milk gets more milk from the mother.
So the more vulnerable we are in a mindful mode, it's a good thing. Then we will run. We are not going to walk to God, but we will run to Allah, and He is going to take care of everything. It's a promise. So if you can just think of it, because we can choose our response, but we cannot choose the other people's response. So they might be in a ghafla mode. That's why last week we were mentioning it. Two people, two events, and in between there is God. So they're not even looking at each other. So their relationship is through God. It's like the telephone tower that, the example that we used to use. So when I call you, it's not from my phone to your phone, it goes to the receiver, and then from that receiver, it goes to your phone. You can think of that receiver as God. So my response is with my Rabb, my relationship is with my Rabb, and whatever the other side is choosing to respond is their ghafla mode or their mindful mode. We can only make, we can protect ourselves, but we can, through God, through running to God, and we can pray for them.
And to get there, you need to pause, sit down with this feeling that keeps coming back, anger.
Take the feeling, and sit in the lap of your creator. Like a baby is in the hands of the mother.
Bismillah, that
Just
is my
sit-
homework.
Just sit there. Sit with your Rabb.
So this name AlMu'min, and the reason that we have been staying with this name, because we realize it's a really, really basic, profound need that in order to feel, in order to go through the rest of the relationship, we need to feel safe first, like that safety, to trust, like to be able to know that our Rabb promises, and his promises, we trust in those promises, and to find safety, that is the basic need. Like before we go in order to go up in that, go back to that ladder, yeah, this ladder, that, like, you know, that trust is finding safety. Like, you know, trust me means find safety in me. So in order to do that, like, you know, to know him, to find safety in him, then what you said, Mariam, like then you will be running to him. Then that vulnerability will make you run to him. And as you sit in his lap and you're listening to those feelings as messengers, that's when the love grows. It's just like when you sit in your best friend's lap or your mother's lap and you cry and they comfort you, your love grows in that moment to them. And then from there, like, that's what, this is the state that we are always want to return to, like, you know, being with God, the state of being in his presence, the state that you're not talking to people horizontally, like you're talking, you're watching yourself, you know, being able to communicate to them through your Rabb. You watch your emotional need to do something and you realize, wow, this is done upon me. But that is only, that happens when we're in that last stage, that stage of being, that stage that we want to return to. And that stage, for some of us, it happens like, you know, for a few minutes, for a few hours. And what we want is for that state to be the default state, like not the once in, you know, once every blue moon, as they say, but the state that we're in. Because once you're in that state, you are, that's the tranquil soul state. Then that fire won't. It will, the fire will come, you realize it for what it is, and you still will feel the tranquility. The whatever will come, and you'll still feel that state. Sure. Okay, so dear sisters, anyone wants to share? How did they see AlMu'min? And I have one more thing to share that I was planning to put in a slide from Sarah. Is Sarah here? Sarah, are you here? Ah, Sarah, you're here. So maybe speak about it. You were describing the relationship between us and our Rabb as a covenant where our Rabb says, I am your provider of safety. Do you take me as your provider of safety? And it falls upon us to say, yes, I do. So Sarah, do you want to explain that? Because I love that. I just loved, it felt like the vows, like, you know, the marriage vows. And what important vows do we have? A vow between Abd and a Rabb. Our Rabb is telling us, do you take me as the one who will provide you safety, or are you taking your family members? Are you taking your father, Allah yarhamu, as the cause of safety? That would not happen if my father was alive, by the way. Are you taking these people, like, who are you taking as your cause of safety? So, do you take me? And our Rabb is waiting for us to respond. Sarah, let us know when you're ready. And I'm gonna share one thing until you're ready.
She's in the listening mode. She's in the car.
Oh, she's in the car. Okay. So Ziba, today you shared this tool reading. So can you explain this slide. I just added it after I saw the title, Tools for Reading. You want to share that?
Yeah, this one sister, Yamina talked, this she's covering in the halakha she's doing right now. And she's saying that Allah has gifted us these four senses. All the senses have been gifted to us to reach our potential. So we can either use them to reach the potential that He's put in us, so that because animals and birds and all, they also have senses, but they are very limited. They are there for them to survive and sustain, and they are serving their purpose. But for human being, if we are just stuck in reading them as a transient and stuck with that transience, then they didn't serve the purpose. And then Allah says in the Quran that if you are using those tools just to connect to things in this world, then you are worse than the animals, because they are happy while doing it. We are running, tasting these, but we are running after them. They become our rub and we run after them. And then she was telling that these will come back in the akhirah and speak that we didn't ask them to make them our rub. They were the ones who made us their rub. We were sent to them so that they can come to you through us by interacting with us and using the senses and using the gifts that Allah has surrounded us, are outside, inside, like this beautiful fall season. They are this season. Allah created each and every color for us. Most of the animals, I think almost everyone, they don't even have cones, so they can appreciate the diversity of colors and the combinations. Like each time I walk during the fall, I feel that this print, I can have a dress with this. I can have it. Like it looks so beautiful. Like I wish I had a dress printed with these colors. So who
You're
gave
beautiful, Ziba. You don't need all the colors.
Yeah. So, no, I'm saying it's an inspiration even for people who are making like fashion designers, and they can find inspiration from these colors. And even the colors, origin of colors are given, like how did people make dyes? They are initially, it was from the natural resources that Allah has surrounded them with. So these are the tools that Allah has given us. Tasting is smelling, like you smell beautiful things, you smell roses. So these are all tools, but tools for what? That's what we need to read. Like these tools are here and now, but this flower is going to die. It served its purpose and it's gone. But the interaction that I had with this flower when I smelled it, the beauty that I saw in the rose, is it taking me to my rub? Is it directly transcending me into his love and growing me in his love, rather than being just fascinated by that rose? And then it wilts, and then we feel ourselves like it's gone. That pain, that the pain of transience, that is real, and that pain has been kept for a reason. Allah has attached it with pain, transience, so that you attach to the absolute one. And then the promise of akhirah, that's the feeling of not meeting the absolute contentment here, is the need for the akhirah. Otherwise we won't have the need for akhirah if we were content with that smell of the flower and it staying forever the same natural way and same beauty and same. Then that's why the creation is this way. The most merciful Ravi says, come back to me. Fafirru to what? Fafirru to akhirah, through this transient world, in my safety, in my amana. So that was Sister Yamina's last week's halakha that was telling us. Yeah.
So, Bismillah. If we would love to hear from you, but if you don't have a sharing to keep it recording, we will ask our beautiful Ziba to end with dua, so we can have the open sharing without the recording.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. So Allah, you are the most perfect, Subhanaka, and all praise belongs to you. And we ask forgiveness for the moments of ghafla that we don't see you in our presence. We don't see you in any equations that's happening horizontally. So we ask forgiveness for those moments, and we ask you to keep us in your presence. And وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. So that may Allah, may we encourage each other to find safety in our Rabb and to follow our safety in Amana, and then act on it and find safety again and come back to him running in moments of ease and in moments of difficulty. Run to him. And may Allah not put us on fire, and may this become our hal, that we find ourselves closer to him. Amen.
And yeah, now I'll stop the sharing.
Let me stop the recording.